All right, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh. Give honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, who rule well. And salutation, much love, be occupied and pushing out his word to his sincere brothers from great millstone, Tam back with another weekly lesson, Lord, so it's edifying. It's a lot. And we're just going to go through the spirit, man. You know, there's a lot of going on in Babylon the Great. But mainly, the downfall of it, we've seen it in coming in different avenues, how the Lord's breaking this place down, man. All right, the economy's through. All right, we're already in inflation. All right, it's just a matter of time before the hyperinflation kicks in and people actually realize it, come to grips with it. But it's only going to get worse and worse, and then it's going to get, because of that, let's go to, second Ezra 15, say for the lack of bread and for great tribulation. People are going to get real sadistic out here. As a matter of fact, while you get that, let me look up this word here, sadistic. Because this is what people are going to do. Sadistic. Let's see here. Sadistic. Let's see. There's etymology. On the online etymology, it says, sadistic, characteristic of a sadist, I don't say much, of or characteristic of the sade or his writing. So sadism go to that. Love of cruelty. There you go, man. So people are gonna be having a love for cruelty, man. They're gonna be doing cruel things. Hey, what does the scripture tell you? The day of the Lord is cruel. Okay. I think that might be in Joel or something around there, but go ahead and whoever got that second Ezra.
Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Verse 15, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands."
So people are going to be fighting one another. As you see now, people are already taking to the streets, colliding, or what they say, they collide, they're bashing each other, the two fronts are colliding with each other. So this is just causing up strife and envy, okay, on the left hand side. But at the same time, you got the right hand side coming closer together. So as the Lord is separating the enemy and dividing them up, putting the curses on them, the Lord is closing up the breaches of the elect, okay, because not all Israel is going to come together. But as you see, like we were talking about this at camp, it's the seesaw effect. There's one side's going up, the other side's going down at the same rate. It's not like you're on a seesaw and your side flew up and the other side's slowly going down. No, it works in tandem because that's a perfect balance. And the Lord is a perfect balance, man, a just weight. So, that scale is as that scale is tipping for Esau, going down for Esau, we going up at the same time, until he fully comes down, and then that's when the other side of the scale is going to be at the top, We'll go ahead.
Second Ezra 15, verse 16, it says, For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
Sedition meaning a revolt, uprising against the government, insurrections. Okay, we've been seeing this going on 2 years now, especially now with these mandates. Okay, which mandate is just short, really, for mandatory. They're making things mandatory, man. Which we've been told you this was coming. All right, this is Esau coming with great wrath, knowing he has but a short time. All right, speaking as dragging the draconian laws. All right, a harsh of measures or harsh laws. Okay, you go into the word draconian, goes into harsh laws, man. Harsh measures, and that's what he's doing. Look, if you go, you can't work. 100 million people got to meet the deadline now, including the military, the police, anything that consists of 911. These niggas is quitting because of these things that are being made mandatory. Which now they saying that's misinformation. To say mandates is mandatory. So they saying that's misinformation. I seen an article talking about if you say that mandates are mandatory, that's misinformation. But it's in the very name itself, So this man is a devil, and he's showing his horns out, and he's the one called. He's going to ultimately call, which we know is the Most High, but He's gonna call Esau Edom. He's gonna cause these shortages. You know, he's the one causing the shortages, food shortages, causing these people. He's paying the opposition. He's paying both sides. That's how he does with wars on a global scale. So you know he's doing that for protests and Black Lives, BLM, all that bullshit is funded by. He funding both sides. You know that's his MO. But go ahead, brother.
I got quick, something quick, because the brother said that Esau is play on words to say mandate is mandatory is misinformation, because that's how slick and crafty this devil is. Going to Newspeak Wikipedia, Newspeak is a fictional language of Oceania, a totalitarian superstate that is setting of dystopian novel, and pretty much it says English socialism. Newspeak is a controlled language of simplified grammar and restricted vocabulary designed to limit the individual's ability to think and articulate subversives. All right, and that's what Esau do, man. You know, that Newspeak. You know, he plays on words and says it doesn't mean this or it doesn't mean that, and that's how he's able to pretty much bring about all his unrighteous decrees by just to play on words. Say it means this or it don't mean that. You know, it's mandatory, or then again, mandatory doesn't mean it's a mandate doesn't mean it's mandatory. You know, Esau his new speak.
Yeah. Esau, it's just hypocrisy, bro.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that it's a mandate, but then he'll tell you it's not. Well, it's not mandatory. You have the right to, decline it, this and that or whatever.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's bullshit.
Real quick. Revelation 13 talks about who wants like a lamb speak as a dragon.
Yeah. That'll go into that. Yeah.
This is Revelation 13 and verse 11. Yeah, Revelation 13 verse 11 says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon." So it's going to those draconian laws, we're going to speaking as a lamb, as he comes off softly, like when he speaks, he says his words are smooth and butter, his words are softer than oil, but yet they're drawing swords behind the intent behind those words is ultimately to cause people to go in a wrong way, wrong direction, But go back to 2 Kings 15, in verse 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not..."
Oh, Salaki, brother. Let me get this quick precept. Just to go with what you brothers are speaking about, because this is why the scripture says this, because of that newspeak, people are being deceived by it. So this is 2 Ezra 16 and 69. 2 Ezra 16 and 69. "And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot." So them that consent unto that to the deception, they're going to be had in derision, which you go into that word derision, meaning ridicule. So people are going to be laughing. Mainly the men of the Lord are going to be laughing at these people who go along with the program, because people are going to realize that, look, y'all got duped. They were telling you, making you fall by these words, but you didn't really. They had a whole different meaning. They changed up the meaning of these words to make you think that they're really talking about this, but really this was the whole agenda the whole time. Just wanted to go with that.
Real quick, back him up. Ephesians 6 and 11. "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." All right, you go into that word wiles is trickery or cunning acts, man. All right, all his deception. All right, that's why the scriptures say to deceive them who receive the mark. So the power of his deception. That's why the Lord has given us these exact words that we're reading right now, so we can be able to prevail against him in these last days. Because Esau is going to bring out all his miracles, all the tricks from up his sleeves. He's going to use his full power on that left hand side to push forth his laws, to push forth his draconian measures, to push forth his military. All right, all his technology to deception. Esau is going all out to deceive the elect. So that's why the scriptures say, "Therefore put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of this devil," man. Stand against his trickery and cunning acts, if you would.
And Revelation 12 and 12 tells you, like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. The way Esau's devouring these people is through those lies and deceptions, as well as his devices. But real quick, Revelation 20 and 3, it says, and cast him into the bottomless pit, talking about that serpent, Esau, Edom, and that bottomless pit was the land of Europe over there. And it says, and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And that was the time period of the Byzantine Empire rulership. Okay, Esau was cast down. Okay, and it says that he should deceive the nations no more. But then it goes on to say, and after that he must be loosed a little season, so that he was let loose eventually. Those chains of darkness those chains were taken off of him. He came up out of that bottomless pit known at in that time period known as the Renaissance era, and he began to deceive the nations again. To the point now that we are in 2021, and he's been setting his agenda up for that Caraguen, all right, for that his image of the beast, you know.
Yeah, that's why I should just say what Psalm 94th chapter says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law. And mischief means an evil condition or misfortune. You know, so what's going on right now is this man made a wicked decree that you got to get mandatory juices, you know. And disease has been happening, you know. People been getting heart disease, lung disease, you know, all type of flus, and smallpox and all that stuff has been going on. And he never made nothing mandatory, okay? And now it's going to agendas being pushed, you know, because they're going to Revelation 13:11. They're going to politics. They push policies, you know. They're making these laws, pushing this stuff on earth because they ultimately have an ultimate agenda, which is that new world order, chip everybody.
And when his policies fail, that's when he
Comes in,
comes in with force. You know.
Yeah. Now go back to 2 15. In verse 16 it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yeah, that's why people are starting to buck up, you know, saying, no, you know what, instead of fuck it, we're gonna quit. You know, all these people quitting, they're saying, whatever, man, look, we'll find another way, because people ain't fucking with the government anymore. They see, you know, these people are waking up to reality, not waking up to the truth, but they waking up to the reality that the government don't give two shits about it. Like Russ said, here it is, all these things have taken place and nothing's ever been made mandatory. Millions of people die every year of the flu. Nothing, the flu vaccine was never mandatory. Okay, niggas dying of AIDS for decades. They to this day, they ain't got no remedy for that. But in a matter of months, they 9 months or whatever, they had the solution. And they just started throwing them at niggas, darting people with it. Multiple, you got different brands. You can get this brand, that brand. And now they coming out with the talking about the J&J, fucking niggas up, got giving them blood clots and shit. You know, and that's just one of the brands. So, you know, that's why the scriptures say never trust thine enemy, man, because this nigga lie boldly to your face, and then if the lie don't work, he'll shove it down your throat regardless, man. And what you gonna do about it? That's the mentality he's in now. Like, what you gonna do about it? You know, because he knows he has but a short time. But he still has the earth in his possession. You know, so he's able to do and deceive whoever he pleases, man. Because that's what it was given unto him for the beast to do for a little season. You know, go ahead, Doug.
Yep. 2 15 verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Yeah, you're gonna be cut off, you know, like, because ultimately you have to worship the beast for you to live and have your life out here on this side. You know, you have to consent. What Brother brought out earlier, consent means to agree, meaning you're okay with it. You know, as long as I have, you know, what I want my house, I want my family, whatever kind of goals and aspirations you wish to have on this side. The deal is you got to take the chip, you know, and that's the ultimate goal. You know, so the things being cut off, taken away is that, you know, because when these things get taken away from people, that desire to want the things that they had, they're gonna go all out to get what they lost. And that's why Yahweh said, and a man seek to save his life, he shall lose his life. You know.
And it says sedition. All right. It says sedition is a serious felony punishable by fines up to 20 years in prison and refers to the act of inciting revolt or violence against a lawful authority with the goal of destroying or overthrowing it. All right, so that sedition, so just by you, if that, once again, I'm playing on words, but them making something mandatory and you're not accepting it, that's seditious. All right, so
Treason.
Exactly. You don't have to be out there rioting or tearing shit up just by your refusal, not that compliance, not consenting onto them. All right, is an act of sedition. Okay, so Esau, you can just be, like you say, just refusing, and that's sedition, man. All right, so Esau can now pretty much send his military in to arrest you and haul you off to so-called quarantine camps and so on and so forth, just for you not consenting, because that falls under the guidelines of sedition.
Yeah, pretty much you don't agree to his matrix, because the people in the world, you get demonized, and now guess what? Now we're villainized.
Yeah, people will fold. The majority of people will fold. They're not willing to stand boldly for what they believe in. Because most people on this earth don't really believe in nothing. They don't stand for nothing. So they'll be quick to fold to keep the luxury. Well, here it's mainly here in America. They'll fold quick to keep their luxuries of their life. The convenience. The benefits, all that they'll, which goes into the root of all evil is the love of money, because soon you're not gonna be able to use their money system unless you take their mark. So through the root of all evil, all right, the root of all evil is the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil, and many people will fall for that. All right, because of that love, they're gonna fall for the worst thing. The hour of temptation. So it's now just the beginning stages. Esau just testing you. These are trial runs, so to say. Well, not even trial runs, just the build up to the Karagma. But you see, he's already putting you in that mentality to think, okay, well, if I don't take this via the Karaks, then I can't go here. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, soon it's going to be via the Karaks again, but now it's going to be an actual mark, which is going to be the Karagma, which is the RFID microchip. But you already programmed to think that way. You know what I'm saying? So that Esau just doing it in stages, and he's already done. That's why he don't really give a shit about people getting vaxxed anymore. He's still pushing it, but not like he was months ago. Because he's ready to move to the next stage now.
Because he wanted that charade show of, the public, the Supreme Court just stopped the mandate or whatever. That's all, that's all the fucking show.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If he wanted to keep pushing that shit, it would have pushed it. But like you say, he don't care no more. He's still pushing it, but he don't care no more. He moved to the next.
They said 2/3 of niggas already jabbed up. So
next phase.
Yeah. You got plenty of people jabbed up already.
Second 15, verse 18, it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid."
Because of the pride, the city shall be troubled. All right, and they start that now by sieging your cities, man. Not allowing food and stuff to go into it, because you thought that this was gonna last forever. You thought you was gonna continue to keep waking up. You didn't think that one day you was gonna wake up and you're gonna have to fight for food. That you were gonna become a third world country overnight. You didn't see that day, but because your pride, your cities are going to be troubled. All right, going into that sedition, and the script's going to go into about pretty much how you're going to be slaying each other, man.
Yeah, because like Bruce said, most Americans, they're too prideful to even fathom that idea where they would have to fight for food, because it's readily available. You got Grubhub, niggas will bring it to your doorstep. You got drive-throughs, all this processed food, all this shit that the rest of the world don't even see like that. And so they find it hard to believe that fight for food. Shit, there's fucking food every corner you go to. There's a drive-through, there's a fast food, there's some kind of restaurant. But it's gonna come a time where it ain't gonna be no McDonald's, it ain't gonna be no DoorDash, Uber Eats. You're gonna have to. It's gonna be death and life eats, nigga. Shit. Are you even willing to leave your house? Is the question. Exactly. To go fight for food, let alone go to actually fight. Because once it gets bad like that, people gonna know exactly what they gotta go out to do. And you're like, shit. Maybe I'm gonna go here. Have it all mapped out. You know, I'm gonna hit the frozen section when I get to Walmart. And I'm gonna get the baby formula. Nah, man, there gonna be niggas in there waiting for you. And if you, let's say you got the chip, you in there buying things, there gonna be niggas out there waiting for you when you get out. You know, and then that's why the military gonna have to start rationing foods. You know, so you niggas can't just be stealing it. So, and then you might wait in line 8 hours just to get to the front, and they ran out of food. And then now it's that, damn, I gotta bring something back to my family. And you gonna see them niggas that did get some food, and your first instinct is gonna be to put them down. You know, well, it's gonna get into it. Go ahead, though.
Yep. I'll read again. 2 Edis 15, verse 18. It says, "For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Verse 19. "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation."
Right, that's one of the worst ways to die. So you know it's gonna be one of the number one ways people are gonna lose their shit. If dying of starvation is worse than getting killed with the sword, then you know people are gonna lose their shit when they starving to death. They gonna have no choice because they don't want to die, and it's not a quick death. They're gonna have to deal with their thoughts. You know, deal with it. They're gonna be bugging the fuck out, and it's just gonna go downhill for them.
Mm-hmm.
So you know they're gonna lose their shit. Go ahead.
Just real quick, just an account of you know in the scriptures of how people losing their shit because of famines. Just real quick, this is during the time of right after the Maccabean revolt. This is First Maccabees chapter 9, and it was either right after the Maccabean revolt or during the Maccabean revolt. But this is First Maccabees chapter 9, verse 24. It says, "In those days also was there a very great famine, by reason whereof the country revolted and went with them." So just an example of showing that people, when there's famines, people revolt. Okay, and that's what's getting ready to come, because when you read up above in that 2 Ezra 15, it tells you that there shall be sedition amongst men. Okay, and that's going to be the reason why there's going to be people uprising against the government, man, because they're going to be like, "Yo, what are you guys doing?" Because you guys are the majority. So like the majority of you American citizens, you've been used to them handouts, all right? That part of the bread in circuses, all right? So now that things are getting real tough, Esau's cutting back on you guys, and it's going to get to the point in time where Esau's going to cut back so much that it's going to cause a famine out here, okay? You're not going to be able to go to the stores and find the things that you normally would find, and like the brother was just mentioning, people are going to lose it, man. And the apostles have said that in the past. When people lose it, or when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. Okay, and that's what's getting ready to come, is that time period of people losing it, meaning their minds are gonna snap. Okay, and people aren't gonna be the same anymore, man. You're not gonna see good old Jerry from down the street mowing his lawn. You used to seeing him waving and smiling like an idiot. He ain't gonna be like that no more, man. People are going to have completely different countenances on them in these last days, man. You know?
Quick precept. Matthew 24:12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You know? So that environment is being created right now, if you will. All right, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So nobody's gonna be sharing, you know, nobody's gonna have that charity spirit, you know, and these people don't have it now, you know. So what more when, you know, all hell breaks loose and people start snapping, man? It's gonna be like the wild, wild west out here.
Yeah, you go into that word iniquity, goes into a lawless society.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I say is that because iniquity shall abound. So meaning more and more lawless, or more and more laws are gonna be taken away. Then the love of many gonna wax cold, because look, there ain't no more 911. There ain't no more repercussions for committing crimes. You know,
a purge.
Yep, exactly. That's literally what that scripture said. The iniquity is gonna abound, meaning there's gonna be less and less laws enforced. Okay, a lawless society. That's why people are not gonna be committing. Well, the police forces is dwindling as we speak. Okay. And then the ones that are staying on are a bunch of desk jockeys. They've been on the desk, pushing papers. So what? The people are gonna lose their shit. They're like, whatever. Hey, I know I can get it. They're gonna have a cold heart. They're gonna be, I know I can kill this nigga, take his shit, fuck his bitch, and ain't nobody coming to the rescue. Ain't no 911. So people are gonna start realizing, hey, you know what? I can get away with all this shit. So I'm gonna do it. Especially when it comes to life and death situations where you trying to eat. You had something, Carl?
Yeah, kind of. This is
that was it on that?
Yeah. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. The point is verse 24. 2 Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And pretty much, that's what's happening right now. Esau, Edom, he's pretty much causing these planned food shortages. All right, hoarding the food. The elite's pretty much taking the food on the ground. You have these videos of truckers, pretty much having video footage, sending food on the ground, man. And this is all staged, but ultimately this is the stage of Yahweh Shem Shai. This is the movie of Yahweh Shem Shai, because a lot of death is coming, man. And the 4 sore plagues that have been fallen, one of them is famines. All right, it says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. And that's what's coming, man. The scripture in the book of Isaiah, 13th chapter, man. And in Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, a man that you thought had a great might, great, stature or certain perspective that you had about this person, man. Guess what? That same man is going to be crying, man, in the times that we're coming to, bawling out, crying, man. Why? Because he know that he doesn't have the stability, he doesn't have the wisdom and the understanding of what's actually taking place. Okay, this man only has a sword. Modern day sword is a gun. But once he went out of ammo, where are we gonna go? His wife is going to be looking for him for guidance. His children will be wailing. All right, and lo and behold, he's going to be put to death. His children going to die, and his woman going to be looking for a man of the Lord, because the scriptures say that man shall die in the war. Okay.
Right, and there was that one video I sent out a couple days ago, of a video that a guy did of giving a scenario of how it would all go down is the name of the video, and at the end of the scenario, the guy. His daughter was already gone. She was sold off to sex trafficking. His dogs died. Then his wife and son got shot with a stray bullet. And then at the end of it all, he was bugged out. There was a famine in there. They were eating food mixed with cat food or dog food, whatever it was in the scenario, but then the dude ended up killing himself because he was bugged out. He didn't know what else to do. But real quick, just a quick precept before you continue. Luke chapter 21, verse 26, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So men are going to be afraid because of the things that are happening upon the earth. And, the famines are a part of that. People trying to figure out how they're gonna, feed their family. That's gonna play a big mind games on these people.
Verse 24, it says, "At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies." Okay, going back into the main subject that the brothers is going into, that's what's going to bring in perilous times. When you go into the etymology of the word perilous, it's from the word peril, which means hazardous, man, dangerous. It says spiritually dangerous. Why? Because you people are going to have spirits messing with you, man. Okay, certain thoughts is going to be coming into your mind, which happened in the book of 2 Kings, to where you're going to look at your food as your animals, your children as food, man. See, the Lord is getting ready to plague you people with the plague of the heart, man. You see, because you took this time of liberty, grace period, as a time of weakness, a time to play around with mercy, man. You see, and you're going to be looking for guidance in the times that we're coming into. It says, "At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies." And these thoughts are already in you people's mind. The only thing that's holding you people back is the call from 911. Okay, the access to the police department. Okay, the having somebody that's able to defend you. But we're coming into the time where nobody's going to have no defense. You women are going to be eradicated in these times, man. The scripture say your house shall be spoiled. Okay, your woman ravished, man. Children put to death in front of you, man. Okay? And the spirit been heavy on the apostles going into the time of trouble that we're coming into, because in order for us to enter into that rest, the destruction, the famines, the pestilence, the misery must come to this place, man. You see? It says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right, I got one more. Ezekiel 7:15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him, man. Okay, and you people out here in the city are going to get it the worst. Okay, why? Because you're so dependent. Everybody in here in America, you in a lackadaisical spirit, man. You in a spirit of comfortability, man. But the new comfort is getting ready to be uncomfortable, man. And a lot of you people don't have that adjustment, all right? Okay, you don't have that attribute to actually already see these things taking place, man. So you're going to be caught out here lacking, you know? That's it, bro.
Yeah. I got some real quick. Back you up. This is Amos chapter 6, verse 1. Amos 6, verse 1, it says, woe to them that are at ease in Zion, and trust in the mount of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. And, you know, this is going into, as we say, you know, things written aforetime, written for our learning. You know, you got Amos prophesying against the northern tribes, and he's saying, you know, going into trusting in the government, you know, the kingdom, because of that ultimate establishment that's in order, or well, I'll say not in order, but in place, you know, trusting in them to look out for you, you know, to get your, you know, daily necessities and things like that, which as going to the curses, we have to go to our enemies for one of all things. There's a time coming to now where we're not standing upon them no more. Like, you know, going to the book of Isaiah, which Isaiah was prophesying against this other kingdom, he said, woe unto their trust in Egypt. You know, Jacob's problem is they trust in lying words. They like false promises, and they like, you know, making covenants with death. You know, so what's going to happen is they're going to fall by their own devices, and, you know, all that boo crying and stuff. You brought this point yourselves, you know, the time of liberty, which we're all in that same time. What are we doing? We're making our call on election sure. And ultimately, you can't make yourself of the elect, you know, this many call for your chosen, you know, but, you know, going into again, everybody had their fair shot, so to say, as far as getting right, you know, what the time was to get right. You know, and that time's coming where that door's gonna be closed, and that's it. Ain't nothing we can do. We're blowing that trumpet, and nobody's getting ready, so we about to get left, you know.
That was the one.
That's all I have.
Come back in the second Ezra. Still.
That was it on 15. I'll say that's 15.
I'll continue reading on in this in Matthew 24 and 12. And it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And this is the point. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right. So I remember I was watching that video. The brother Bakar Moth, he posted it, and one of the parts in that video, what he was saying was that he said that we're going to make conditions so bad. He's saying all the phases they're in. And he said, but the conditions are going to be so bad that even the most zealous, because he said the more rebellion we're going to get is from religious groups. He said that's going to be the highest form of rebellion. All right. And then I remember seeing a study a couple years ago that people who's more religious, like a certain part of their brain, like more activity was going on, those people are harder to control. All right. Hence, that's why they was trying to get rid of the so-called God gene, whatever. But those people are harder to control. More activity plays in a certain part of their brain, and it's harder to control those people because while their mind is you know so heavily set on their religious beliefs of their God that those are hardest to control, and that was done by that's scientifically proven. So what now is he is saying that they're going to make conditions so bad that even the most zealous, religious person is going to. He's saying he's going to even bow down and accept the mark, and he was going into certain things. But the scripture say he that endureth to the end shall be saved. But what Esau doesn't understand the spirit. All right, you can get into all your science and all your physicalities, you know, dealing with the human brain and whatnot, and dealing with the human anatomy, and dealing with hunger drive the strongest man down. Yeah, that is true. But that's why we have the spirit with us to overcome the things of the flesh. All right, and we've been exercising that this whole time. Revelation 3 and 10, you didn't consider this though, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, and also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So you can make conditions as bad as you want, man. to the point where you think you're going to be able to subdue the even most zealous or religious person to pretty much consent to your new world order. But Yahushua said that he's going to keep us from the hour of temptation. So you can come with your worst, man. You're going to come hard. You can come with all you got. But the elect, Lord's will we those men, we're not going to consent onto it, no matter if we're faced with hunger. But even what the scriptures say, even in temptation, the Lord will give thee a way out.
Right.
I forgot what precept that is. If you wanna get that real fast, but the Lord say even in temptation we will find a way out. So Esau, we know it's all being orchestrated ultimately the Heavenly Father, but Esau is orchestrating all this chaos, and us in the spirit, we know who he really wants, the elect.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be able to mark the elect. That's really his whole agenda. He can care less about the rest of the people. The rest of the people are just casualties. All right. He wants to mark the elect. You got that precept?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Slaki is 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. There have no temptation taking you, but such as is common to men.
All right, and such as is common unto men. All right, what the scriptures speak about in Peter's house said, he said, thinking not strange of fiery trial, which is to try you, because your brethren all around the world going through the same things, so think it not strange. So no temptation which is common unto men. Well, Yahweh Shai already told us that these times are going to be like times like no other. We just went in 2 Ezra 15 how bad these times are going to be. Just read in Matthew's 24 chapter, the 12th verse, that because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, so we already are aware of these things. Most all of Yahweh Shai are aware of these things. They're the ones ultimately orchestrating all these things, man. Go ahead.
It says, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
Yeah, so Esau and all his, chaos he's trying to orchestrate to, make the elect consent, it's not going to work. So even with the famine and all these things, the Lord is going to feed us. He's going to provide for us in these times, and that's our escape. All right, all these miracles and these, and I speak as a man, these so-called small acts of salvation on this side, when the ultimate, the big salvation comes, we beamed up. All these, once again, I speak as man, all these little small acts of salvation of food being delivered unto us, and us escaping, all right, these troops and all these things, and us escaping all these plagues. Okay, those are all ways out of what Esau is bringing, man. All right, and that's one thing Esau, once again, he gets on his science, and man, this can make even the strongest man bow down, but we got the spirit with us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because why, going to the Lord told us, because that's what we have to comfort. He said, behold, the day of trouble come, but I will deliver you from the same. So Esau's whole thing is he's fighting a losing battle. His job is he has to try to prove the Most High to be a liar, and we know scripture say he'll never, the Most High says the man shall not lie, so the Lord never lie, and according to science so-called, that's what's set up to do, try to prove the Most High as a liar,
Right, and that's why the scriptures say neither doubt, because that's what Esau is trying to plant in the minds of these people, is that doubt,
That you only got me. That's it.
Yeah, I'm your only other.
Exactly.
All this time, where's Jesus? Where's Jesus been for you? That's why they're creating that new world, that one world religion, that they've been trying to form up. You have more on that precept?
Yeah, just a little bit more. It says,
I got one to go with what you brothers are saying.
It says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that he may be able to bear it.
You can speak on that.
Yeah, I'll read it one more time. It says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. And what you brought out, Revelation's 3rd chapter, where it says the hour of temptation. There's already a way for the elect to escape, man. It's already written. That's why the next scripture after that, verse 11, it says, hold fast that which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So it's already a crown laid up for the elect, man. The Lord has already has the angels, all right, given a special task over the elect, man.
Right, and brother, you quoted it earlier, Revelation 3.
Yeah, I'm in it, man.
Kind of, it tells you what, that keep my word of patience, and now I shall give thee a crown of life. Well, that in the scriptures say, in thy patience possess ye your souls, and so that's what you have to hold on to, is that word of patience, and then the Lord will give you that crown, Let me get this quick one real quick. This is Job chapter 5, I'll start at verse 20. Job chapter 5, verse 20 says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So the Lord is going to redeem us, from the famines, from the sword, which is what's going to come upon the earth. Because those things, as pursuant to Sirach chapter 40, verse 9 and 10, were created for the wicked. All right, the sword, famine, calamities, death and destruction, all those things were created for the wicked, man. And for their sakes the flood came. And the new flood that's getting ready to come is that flood of fire, man. And the Lord is going to deliver his elect, those that kept, that held on to their faith and did not doubt. That's why Yahushua said, when I come back, shall I find faith on earth?
Acorn, get that.
Because there's going to be a lot of people. The majority of the people on the planet Earth are not going to have faith in the Heavenly Father, man. They're going to put their faith and trust into Egypt, like Brother Ma'akala was stating earlier. Okay.
Finish. You was done with that? All right. Well, I'm gonna get this in Quran. You hold that. Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Because in the 24th chapter of Matthew, it say, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. All right, since we has kept the word of the patience, man, the word of how shall we suffer, we armed ourselves with that same mind, okay? And then we going into that, into this battle, all right, with that same mind of suffering. That, we might not be able to go home and cut the water on and water come out the faucet, no showers, or go home and the electricity is out and you can't keep warm in the winter. But through all those things, the Lord, he's going to provide for us. He's going to bring us some form of comfort. We just have to endure it. All right, it says, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So that's what our hope is in. All right, Esau is cutting off the food. He's cutting off all the resources. So you can't connect to that beast system unless you receive the mark of the beast. Okay? But the Lord said he can keep us from those things. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right?
Yeah, that's why it says, Wisdom Song, the 3rd chapter, it says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Lord, or him, no hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. So going into how Esau wants to try to control your spirit, try to collect that God gene, do some mad science stuff. It says in Ecclesiastes 8th chapter, it says that no man have power with the spirit to attain the spirit. So that right there cuts that whole thought process. That's why they say, let the Most High be true and every man a liar. So going off of what Esau says he can do and things like that, he only has power when he's given. He's going to lose his power. So that's why you shouldn't take no advice from a loser. You try to take heed to the winner. The ultimate winner is Yahushua. And for the hour through son Yahushua. It's an example.
You got it.
Beautiful. St. Luke 18, verse 6, and the Lord said, verse 7, it says, and shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear along with them. That's heavy because, you got to see yourself actually doing that, man. We the ones that's sighing and crying, man. We the ones that's asking the Heavenly Father through his only begotten Son to shorten the days for the elect's sake, man, to send that great mercy that thou hast promised, man. Okay, a way to escape, man. Okay, because that's the only way out of here is through the mercy of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. It says, and shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear along with them. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth.
Hey, real quick, I got a quick research because it said that he shall avenge them. Read that last verse.
It says, nevertheless, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth.
All right, so the Lord's going to avenge us, man, via these plagues and famines and by himself literally coming down, and zapping and killing a lot of people. All right, but real quick, just to back that up, Sirach chapter 39, verse 29, fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. That's why these things are going to happen upon the earth, man. Because the Lord is avenging his elect. All right, those that were sighing and crying, those that were killed. Okay, his servants for doing his will. You know, so just to back what the brother was just reading.
Because that's what avenge means. It means to take revenge. You know, the day of vengeance burneth in his heart. You know, for he's jealous for us. You know, we're sighing and crying. You know, this man's trying to defile us, trying to steal us again. You know, have us in some other type of weirdo captivity to where now we're under him forever. No, man, the Lord says he's going to avenge us speedily because we belong to him. We don't belong to you.
Yeah, that's why, hey, to back the brother up, I got something real quick too. But in Isaiah the 63rd chapter, it says, what? Vengeance is in my heart. The year of my redeemer has come. So, you know, like the brother Michael had mentioned earlier, you know, this man is pretty much trying to prove that the Most High is a liar and that he is not going to save us, man. And in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, later on down in that chapter, it says, well, we shall prove him to see if his God shall save him. And this is nothing new because it happened to the three holy children.
Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter.
Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter? Okay. Thwada, 2nd chapter. Yeah, because what? This happened to the three holy children. What they wanted to prove, Nebuchadnezzar wanted to prove that he was God, man. And that the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, would not be able to save them out of the fiery furnace, man. You know, what made me think about that earlier is because I was cooking some food, you know, in the oven, and I had messed around and touched it. But I instantly, as soon as I touched that heat, I was like, damn, man, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua saved, you know, the three holy children out of a fiery furnace, man. You know what I mean? And something like this is just that look, you know, that bro, like, you know what I mean? This little ass heat, that shit had my fingers burnt, just touching the top. But that's the power that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is able to do, man, to save you out of any situation, man. That's why we read in 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, he will make a way for you to escape. It don't matter what situation, man, what situation we are in, and we're coming into that ultimate proving reign, which is the hour of temptation, man, where the Lord is going to be with the elect, and the Lord got it set up so beautiful to where you have to have faith because the elect is scattered across the four corners of the earth, man. So that's why he said there's going to be a greater deliverance. That's why he's going to get the ultimate praise and fame, because it's going to be like, wow, who the hell is this power? Okay, that saved them out of the condition that they're in, man, the lowest state, man. You know, but this is Psalms 91 and verse 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling, man. So none of the plagues that the Heavenly Father is getting ready to send on the planet Earth, just like he did in the time of ancient Egypt, when there was darkness, what? The Lord had light over the children of Israel, man. Okay? Why? Because spiritually we have that blood on our doorposts, man, which is the mark of exemption. Lord will be those men over our foreheads, man. You see, so the plagues that the Heavenly Father is getting ready to send, while the brother brought out that Sirach, the 39th chapter, the scourges, the wild beasts, man. Okay, the famine that's coming, bro. We're talking about a famine, bro. This is one of the Most High's four plagues, man. This is how the Lord jacked all nations up, even going back to the time of our forefather Joseph, man, who the Most High made second in command. Okay, under Pharaoh, what? He caused a famine to happen for 7 years, man. Okay, that's how you take motherfuckers out, and that's what's coming to Babylon the Great. One of the main events. Okay. All right, yeah, the main event, right? But one of the rounds is a famine, man. And you got another round of pestilence, wild beasts, noisome beasts, man. You know, so the Lord is getting ready to jack this place up, man. Okay, and the final round is going to be those thermonuclear missiles. So it says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Okay, and that's for brothers that also to have children too, man. Because the scriptures speak about women shall be saved through childbearing. You know, so it's gonna be a multitude of women being saved in these last days. We're talking about great miracles, man. All right, we're talking about the Heavenly Father stepping down and showing him his power, man. This is something that people have been you know, so long. The Heavenly Father have hidden himself. Verily thou is the power that hideth thyself. The Most High is getting ready to reveal that he's there the whole time, man, and put that aura around certain men, women, and their children, man. Verse 11, it says, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And in the NLT it says to protect you wherever you go, man. So the angel of the Lord is encamped around about the elect, man. It don't matter what situation we put in, but the Lord is getting ready to have these angels manifest themselves, man, in the times that we're coming into, man. Spiritual power is getting ready to be divinely intervened for the elect's sake, man, so that there can be flesh saved for the reproduction of the nation of Israel, i.e. the 2/3 to come back into the kingdom, man. But it's going to have to start by certain men. The Lord has to use those vessels of honor, man. You see? Brother's got it.
St. Matthew's 7, verse 24. It says, therefore, whosoever heareth the sayings of mine and doeth them, I will like him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. All right, and we believe, hey, that's us, man. You know, we heard this word, and we doing the same thing. We go out on the highway of the Bible. We changed our ways. You know, we're seeking the Lord diligently, and we're having a faith in the Lord and trusting in Him. All right, so that's likened unto us building our house on the rock. It says, and the rain descended, and the floods came. All right, and you can liken that unto the time of trouble that we're going into right now, man. All right, it starts when you come into this truth. All right, all the trials and tribulation, affliction you go through. But here it is, we coming into the hour of temptation. All right, the ultimate affliction, the ultimate temptation. Okay, because we've been tempted, since we started in this ministry. You know, these certain spirits and stuff start messing with us. But here it is, we go into that hour of temptation. It says, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And that's your faith. Okay? How can the Lord put us through all these things, man. Like, King David, King David had that faith that he can go up against Goliath, because he said, man, I ran down a lion, and, I pretty much, I slew the lion and took the sheep out of his mouth, and, so on and so forth, because the Lord was building him up. All right, all the way up for these exact times. So likewise, the Lord has been building our faith up. So when these times come, we're going to be able to look, this trouble right in the eyes, and we're going to be able to embrace it all because we've been built up all the way up to this time, man. The Lord been delivering us through, certain things that we've been going through our walk in this truth, to the point where it was like, I know the Lord with me. All right, and then even now, the scripture say, as for truth, it shall be declared, and roughly paraphrasing, faith shall flourish. We come in a time where brothers are going to start doing miracles, right? Getting spiritual powers. So that's going to even bring our faith on another level, man. So when we actually are facing these things, that is we're going to be able to endure these things, man. That's that rock solid faith. Okay?
Yeah, it goes all back. It all goes back to the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because you got which begins with what? The basics. You got to have a solid foundations to build upon, which is which is the full belief in Yahweh Shai, because that is the foundation. Which He's the Word. Well, you have to have a solid foundation, because you can have a bougie foundation,
yeah,
but it ain't gonna hold up once you start building upon it, and then the tribulation comes, or whatever, whatever's beating on the winds come, the boisterous winds of destruction comes, whatever's beating on them walls, it's only gonna stand as tough as that foundation will stand. So it all goes back to that foundation, which is believing, having that faith and knowing these scriptures. That's what it's going to boil down to, knowing the scriptures. Do you believe in the scriptures, what you've been reading? Do you even know the scriptures? Because if you don't even know the scriptures, you don't even have a foundation,
Yeah. It says, and everyone that hear these sayings of mine and doeth them not. All right, 2/3 of our people. Okay, you're the ones that do it not. This is the case you're gonna be. Shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. Are you liking that sand to all the cares and desires of this world? The strength of this world. That the things that fadeth away. As soon as water come, that water come and just take that sand right on out, man. Because it's not a solid foundation. You strengthen yourself in the spirit of Egypt. Okay. You strengthen yourself, or maybe in your arms, or whatever the case may be. You are a bunch of foolish people, man. Okay? It says, everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built an house upon the sand, and the rain descended, and floods came, and
that's
winds
like
blew.
guys trying to build on their own foundation or come up another way. There's only one foundation you can build on. Everything else is not gonna be it. It might look like it might be being built up for a time being, but then eventually it's gonna collapse. There's nothing to support it. That's what the foundation is there. The main support comes from the foundation. If you just try to do your own thing and come up with your own doctrine and do this and do that, that's that sand. It's gonna anything can manipulate the sand. You know, the water come, boom, the foundation's gone. Winds come, heavy winds come, boom, the foundation's gone. Nigga dig a hole, the foundation's gone. You know.
Yeah, that goes into you have to be part of the body. You have to get the support of the body. And going into the head, being Yahushai, if you're not attached to the body, how can you get support and get the nutrients and things you need as far as the system goes of the body? You know, how could you benefit from that if you're outside the body? You know, you can't. So you have to be in this thing or out. There's no gray area with the Lord. You know,
You either have the foundation or you don't. You know.
And there's some foundations that look strong as hell, but when it is weather tested, when it's going through the elements,
durability test.
It fails, man. That's why Yahushua said, concerning the wicked scribes and Pharisees, they make the border of their blues, it's like the border blue broad, and you know their phylacteries, and they got all the things outwardly outside their Jews, but on the inside, when you go into that foundation, raven and wolves, man, wicked, scorpions. All right. Just like, I ain't gonna say specifically other groups, but a lot of other groups, man, they out there, they look strong, they doing their marches, and they got on the gay clothing, the super fly garments. That's all on the outside. When you go into the inside of that house, the foundation is weak. And that's what's about to be shown right now. That's why Elder Tahar been saying, when they make this chip mandatory, a lot of you groups and a lot of you people are going to flee, man. You're going to be broken up because that's that weak foundation. Looks strong on the outside, but it wasn't built on that rock, man.
And you have that with the foundation. At least, even if the house gets torn down, the foundation is going to be still there. So you have something to fall back on, which is the basics.
Yeah, really.
You didn't even get the basics, so you don't even have the foundation. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge of wisdom is going to be stability at a time. You're not even taking time to build. You just want to go straight to the fucking filet mignon full course meal, and you ain't even got the basics down yet. And that's what builds the foundation. The foundations is the basics. The basics of building a house is what? You start with the foundation. You don't just start throwing roofs. The first thing you build is the roof. Now you just got a roof laying there with nothing else built. You gotta start with the basics, man, and build from there.
Fundamentals.
Yeah, and that's where dudes fuck up, even in boxing. What happens if you don't got the fundamentals, the basics? When all goes wrong, you got nothing to revert to. You know what I'm saying? So you end up on the mat. Go ahead.
Verse 27, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. All right, so great is going to be the fall of many. All right, the Lord has made this world for many, but the world to come for few. All right, and that's all I got on that.
Anybody, anything? Cool. So, Lord's orders is edifying, and just keep on, trusting in Yahweh Shema Shai. Make sure that foundation is sure, because when them winds come, you're gonna want to make sure. Just like a tent, when you set up a tent, you got to make sure that it's grounded to the foundation. When you're setting up a tent. So what for what though? So it don't just go flying in the wind. So you want to make sure you have a solid foundation and make sure that's solid is good ground, so to say. With that, we're gonna give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
the honors to the elder apostles, great millstone who were well. Salutation, much love be Yakim out there pushing out his word in true sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.